Hello, everybody. Welcome to Who the Hell Asked. Slade's back!
Hey, I am indeed back from my time in Texas. It was a very good time.
Yeah,
And
and the
let me
game.
tell you what,
Yeah,
we have a large grab bag of news this week because holy fuck, things went off the handle.
while you left, the gaming industry popped off. That seems to be how it works. When one of us is gone, that's when the gaming news pops off. So let's start off with a party popping off. Mario Parties 1 and 2, I think to the shock of everybody, are both coming at the same time to Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack on November 2nd, which is in like what, a week? A little over a week from now?
Yeah, so that would be on Wednesday next week. So it's about 10 days out from when we're recording the episode. But
Yes.
gonna be the first Mario Party games to hit NSO.
Yep, the
Like
first.
Byron says, a lot of people are surprised they came out around the same time. Probably just the trend of how they release multiple games at once. So
Well, because with the N64, A, they usually only release one game at a time. And
ah,
number two, normally the games would release in the middle of the month. This is at the beginning of the month. So it's a double whammy of shock right there.
so Mario Party 3 before Christmas, got
No,
it.
no, I still think Mario Party 3 is 2023, but that does leave an interesting gap, and I've seen some speculation that GoldenEye is going to be in December.
That would make sense considering it's also getting online functionality added to it, whether that's just matchmaking or like play with friends or something, I don't know
But the
yet.
one thing that's getting me about that is Nintendo said 2023 in the Japan version of the Direct. Who knows
So
though? Who knows?
who really knows?
But yeah,
So going into the next bit of the grab bag, because we got a lot to cover today, so we're going to keep this moving along. G4 shuts down once again.
yeah, G4, ladies and gentlemen. G4 has shut down once again.
Yeah, so Comcast pulls the plug on G4 TV, ending the comeback for the gamer focused network. So basically, for those who are uninitiated, G4 was a television broadcast that was a part of the early 2000s that kind of covered things involving all things video game news, esports, things like that, kind of before esports became like a major trend.
Yeah, and then it became a channel all about cops reruns after a
Uh-huh.
while. And then it shut down. And then it got brought back to be a, I believe, Twitch exclusive thing where reportedly some of the content creators that were a part of this were uh, getting twenty to $30,000 an appearance, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But it's gone again.
Yeah, again, doesn't seem to have been very profitable. I guess that request or need for video game news and esports as a streaming service isn't quite there.
Well,
That's
that
why you see a lot of channels like ours and
yeah, you
whatchamacallit, YouTube channels like Inside Gaming and stuff like that.
yeah, you've got so much competition in this space of covering gaming news. And couldn't do anything to stand out enough to make a big impact considering the budget they were spending on. But Slade, you want to know what's worse than that? Not finding out from your employer that you're losing your job.
Yeah, so tweet from Gerard the Completionist responding to a tweet from Wario64, which I believe was like one of the fastest people on Twitter to like break the news.
Yeah, because well,
Got a response from Gerard the Completionist,
yes, he said,
and then
"Hey,
boom.
this tweet is how I found out I lost my job. How neat."
Yeah, pretty unfortunate
God,
circumstances
and
there.
probably others found out this way either via the Deadline article or Wario64, which, man, imagine finding out your tweet from the Twitter account you get your video game deals from.
Yeah, that's pretty rough
That just seems like
overall.
a big slap in the face, doesn't it?
Yeah, for
Uh,
sure.
all right.
Alright, going next into the small but large tidbit of grab bag news we have. Perfect Dark is almost fully decompiled for the
Hell
PC.
yeah. So we have a beautiful website called the Perfect Dark Decompilation Status website that will be linked in the description down below. But we're getting pretty close to Perfect Dark PC ports, as you see on screen. Around 95 to 97% of the different various versions, whether it's NTSC, Japan, or the PAL versions. And ladies and gentlemen, you know what that means. PC ports, baby. Let's go.
Yep. So even more of the 64 library is being ported to PC
Yeah,
to
and
run
and
natively on
apparently,
PC,
from what I'm hearing, Banjo-Kazooie is close to done as well.
which is excellent.
That would be huge, baby. That'd be
Absolutely.
huge. But
So
speaking of
let's
things
get
that
into
are
the meat and potatoes.
well, speaking of things that are absolutely huge, Slade. You remember the DualSense Edge?
Yes.
So Sony announced the price, and some people were pretty mad because it was a big price. So
I mean, I understand why people would be upset about that. I mean, let's get into the pricing model.
yes,
So right now, the price of the new DualSense Edge wireless controller is $199.99 US dollars
yep,
or 239 euros.
or 209 pounds, or
Yeah.
29,980 yen. With the stick module replacements coming in at $20, 2,680 yen, 24.99 euros, or 19.99 pounds. Now, I'm gonna say this: this is, considering the type of controller this is, and brands like Scuff and the Xbox Series Elite controllers. I think that's what the Xbox like modular
Yeah.
style controls. Yeah, this is a fair market price considering what Scuff and Xbox charge for this style of controller. I will say that.
Yeah, but that being said, I think it just means that the fair market price for controllers is just absolutely insane. I mean, $200 for a controllers is nuts, Byron. It's just
It is
absolutely
a
nuts.
bit nuts, but like for like what this like the market of like the high end, like more customizable gamer style controllers. Like, hey, look, if you think the general market price for that style controller isn't fair, that's fine. That's the battle. That's a battle That's a conversation I'm willing to have. But in this current market, considering what everybody else charges, this is fine. It's normal, though.
That's
Ho-
the issue is that it's normal.
that's fair. But also, Sony, use Hall effect sensors for your sticks or the stick modules. I bet you won't. Is fucking everybody is on the Hall effect train because drift, Slade.
Yeah.
And yeah, your $200 controller is gonna have a little bit of that drift, isn't it? Isn't it, Slade? Huh?
Nothing's worse than controller drift. Imagine paying $200 for a controller and just drift issues.
Yeah, $200. But I will say though, you are also getting a case with this: two standard caps, two high dome caps, two low dome caps, uh, and of course the USB controller. So,
Yeah.
but
Alrighty,
yeah,
let's get into the big drama news shit show.
yeah. Let's get
That
into
is
it.
the Bayonetta situation. So earlier this week, roughly towards the beginning of the week, Helena Taylor posted a YouTube video um, stressing the amount of money that she was offered to reprise the role for Bayonetta in Bayonetta 3.
Yes,
And also asked fans to boycott the game and donate to charity instead.
yes. But
She claimed that the initial offer was for only $4,000
yeah,
for the entirety of the game.
yeah, $4,000, and this happened during the week we decided there wasn't much gaming news, and this story was just starting to bubble up. So we
Yeah.
decided not to do an episode that week, also because Slade was packing for Texas. But
Y-
we got more details from Jason Schreier and Bloomberg that apparently Helena Taylor may have missed a detail, which was that Platinum offered Miss Taylor between $3,000 and $4,000 per session for at least 5 sessions, according to two people familiar with the deal and documentation viewed by Bloomberg. In response, the people said Taylor asked for a 6-figure fee and residuals. Negotiations fell apart. Taylor denies this account in an email to Bloomberg. She called that version of events, quote, an absolute lie, and said that Platinum is, quote, trying to save their ass and the game. Ooh, new details, huh?
That is correct. And as more information comes out, obviously, they replaced Helena Taylor with a very prominent voice actress, Jennifer Hale,
Yes.
who, before we got the tweets from Jason Schreier at the time, was already announced as her replacement voice actress. But the thing that I found interesting before we got, more details
Yeah.
was it didn't make sense for them to only pay Jennifer Taylor just $4,000 for the whole game. And then for them to go get an A-list voice actress of Jennifer Hale, who I promise you guys is making a lot more than $4,000.
Yeah, so that's why some people were at first suspicious, because it's like, wait, why would Platinum offer this person like 4,000 but then replace her with one of the leading female voice actresses in gaming?
Yeah.
Like,
So, needless to say, once we acquired more details of she actually wanted triple figures. I mean, I'm sorry, six
Six
figures, but
oh,
didn't get, you know,
yeah.
that offer.
Now, residuals? I think that's fine. I think asking for residuals, it's all good. They should, especially if you are the leading voice of
Yeah.
a series. Yeah, you should get residuals, or one of the leading voices. But considering what the Bayonetta series is and how well, not how well the Bayonetta series does, which is not well. Like,
No, it's not that well. And not only that, she posted something like the Bayonetta series had made over like 600 million lifetime or something like that.
and I'm like, hey, fucking excuse me, for a game series.
How? Yeah, nobody knows how she got to those numbers.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
at
it's
all.
crazy considering we know that the Bayonetta series as a whole, as of right now, before 3 even drops, because I think 3 drops next week.
That's correct.
Yeah. The series has sold close to 3 million total. That's not one game. No, 3 million total.
Yeah, that's all 3 games. So again, nobody knows where she got her numbers.
Yeah.
But
And an extra note, VGC, Video Game Chronicles, also was able to corroborate the story and the details about the $3,000 to $4,000 for at least 5 sessions, with each paying $3,000 to $4,000 for 4 hours in the studio, which would have brought the total fees to $15,000.
so if we've learned absolutely nothing else from this entire shit show, as I put it, there are 2 sides to every story.
Yes.
And you should not just default to believing the first thing that you hear.
Well, the one good thing I think that came out of this is that more people are talking about voice actor pay, especially in the gaming industry.
That is true. And to get further into detail on that, voice actor pay obviously still isn't where it needs to be.
Yes.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
I do agree that like there are situations like Nintendo didn't want to pay, union voice actors for the longest time. That's why you don't see Cloud or Sephiroth have English voice acting
Yeah.
in the Smash series and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I completely and totally understand that.
Yep.
But at the same time, Helena Taylor and people who kind of make outlandish claims like that and straight up lie are not helping the
I
situation.
still can't believe she claimed, "Oh, the series made like 450 million." I'm like, Bayonetta, Platinum Games would be dancing up and down and not having to worry about making a games as a service game like Babylon Falls if Bayonetta was making $450 million.
Oh yeah, if Bayonetta was making that kind of money, it'd be a much larger franchise than it is right now.
Yeah, like, and it's not, and I've seen some people say, "Oh, Bayonetta is a top tier franchise for Nintendo." What the fuck? Bayonetta is not a Mario Party is more of a top tier franchise for Nintendo than Bayonetta, and that's a Mario spin-off that typically sells well, except like the newer entries, which have sold like quadruple what the
I
Bayonetta
mean, if we're
series have.
ranking it on the totem pole, Fire Emblem is a bigger franchise for
Yeah,
Nintendo than
Fire
Bayonetta
Emblem.
is.
Yep, Fire Emblem, Xenoblade.
Xenoblade, yeah, Xenoblade. Xenoblade's actually an excellent comparison, considering Xenoblade has the same number of games out at this point for the franchise.
Yeah,
And
and they sell like a couple million total throughout the whole series, but
2
that's
million, 3
also
million. Yeah, so it sells about 2 to 3 times more. So let's not get delusional about the status of Bayonetta here.
yeah, like but yeah, and then we got one last statement on Thursday from Platinum. Uh that we got on the 20th saying, "We at Platinum Games offer our sincerest appreciation to everyone who has contributed to creating the Bayonetta series over the years, as well as the community that has served as its foundation. We give our full support to Jennifer Hale as the new Bayonetta and align with everything in her statement." Because Helena Taylor kind of threw a little bit of shade at Jennifer Hale in, I think, part 3 of the Twitter video trilogy, which
yeah.
probably not a great idea to do for not only just like as a person, but for your career, which is dead, I think, at this point.
Yeah, I can't imagine Helena Taylor's getting a job anywhere else. Like, holy
Not that
hell.
she had a lot of BA gigs anyways, but like, yeesh.
Yeesh, indeed.
It's over.
All right. So, for the last tidbit of news, and probably the biggest news of the week, if you're not counting drama as
Yeah.
news, Silent Hill makes its triumphant return after years of no information.
Hell yeah. We got the Silent Hill transmission with 4 different games. So first off, obviously, the big one, Slade, Silent Hill 2. The remake.
That's correct. Silent Hill 2 will be releasing on PlayStation 5 as an timed exclusive. We don't know how long that time is going to last, probably a year.
Yep, it will also be on PC as well.
But nothing for Xbox as of right now.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, Xbox folks.
So, the iconic Silent Hill 2 video game's getting remade. There is also Townfall, which appears to be kind of I'm not really quite sure how to describe it. Kind of like a more open Silent Hill game.
Yeah.
Actually, like, pretty crazy. F, which is a brand new Silent Hill game, so I imagine it's probably going to be like Silent Hill 3 or something.
Yeah, that was... God, that trailer where the lady turned like into a flower. Oh,
Yeah, I'm
so
actually looking at it right now.
creepy.
It was pretty creepy.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's how you know it's going to be a great Silent Hill game if they already got the creepy factor.
And then
rolling in.
Towerfall Ascension, which it will apparently be some sort of like live interactive game.
Yeah.
But let's get
also, there's going to be a movie, which is the Silent Hill 1.
Yeah.
But a movie.
And then
some merch and a lot more.
Let's get into, first off, Silent Hill 2, the remake. Now, Slade, have you ever heard of a team called Bloober Team?
First I've heard about them, but go ahead, Byron, give us some information.
So, I don't know if you remember a game called The Medium that was announced a few years ago. That weird, like, dual dimension horror game That was
Yeah.
an Xbox exclusive. Yeah, it is from those people. There is a concern by Silent Hill fans that Bloober Team are gonna get their hands on the story. Because the one thing that people complained about, or the major thing that people complained about with the medium, was that Bloober Team didn't handle the topic of sexual assault in that game with tact and grace. And so, like, they couldn't handle, like, heavy subjects with tact and grace. And if they get their hands on the story of this remake, people are worried, oh, they're gonna bloober it up.
That's pretty unfortunate, but I'm hoping that having the preset game and story made before them,
Yes, and having
that
some original
they
people.
won't have to have as much creative control as they would if they were making a new IP or something.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully they get rained on it.
And I imagine there's people with Konami that has oversight over the
Yeah,
project as
they'd
well.
be
So
fucking crazy not to. As Slade mentioned,
that's what you would hope.
we got Silent Hill Ascension, which is gonna be like a. From what I saw in that trailer, it was like a live interactive like Silent Hill, which I'm like, okay, that's interesting. That is gonna be like more like interactive. How do you feel about that? An interactive, like, horror game, I guess.
I mean, I kind of figured that horror games were eventually going to start making a trend towards being interactive. But, like, I don't know. Like I said, I would have to see a lot more, gameplay, as well as, like, trailers just containing information. Because really, the bulk of what they showed off was Silent Hill 2. And they announced that the other things were in development, like the new Silent Hill F game and whatnot, which was just a cinematic trailer from what I could see.
Yeah, so fun fact about Silent Hill F, it is, going to be made by Neobards, who made all of the Resident Evil remakes.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are actually pretty concerned about that because the Resi 3 remake wasn't what people wanted it to be for the most part.
Mhm.
And they've already made some interesting choices for the Resi 4 remake that have people upset, like the scene with the dog, for example, with the bear trap.
Oh,
I won't get into further details than that. But no, long story short, they are a team with a more recent track record in the horror genre.
yep.
So you would hope that these games are going to be pretty good. But yeah, like I said, it seems that people are definitely concerned about the Bluebird team more than anything
Yeah,
else.
and then, of course, Silent Hill Towerfall, developed by No Code and published by Annapurna, which will be interesting. This seems like a minier, like a spin-off of Silent Hill, which will be interesting to see. Seems smaller scale, but of course, most of these, as Slade mentioned, we didn't get a whole lot of nothing. We got a whole lot of nothing with them. Besides just like, hey, they're here. Here's who's developing them. Oh, release here? No. Platforms? Get out of here with that. But Silent Hill's back, I guess.
Yeah. So we're definitely looking forward to that. I was a pretty big fan of the franchise. I played Silent Hill 2 like a bajillion times, so looking forward to playing it in HD, as long as it's a faithful recreation
Yeah.
and not like Blooper just changes the plot for whatever reason. Oh dear God, please no.
Dear God, no.
But I think that's going to be everything for this episode,
Yeah,
which
that's
was a crazy
the
week.
grab bag. Yeah. Woo. Yeah, the gaming industry. I guess you need to leave more so the gaming industry can
Imagine.
pop off. But all right, this has been Byron,
And this has been Slade.
and we will see you all next week with more of that gaming news goodness. Bye bye, everybody.